10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yo, what is up? It's Tuesday night. It's 9 o'clock. The kids are asleep. The wives are chilling. It is time for Shooting the Shit Uncensored, baby. And I am your host, the fucking dad bod god himself, the bald, the beard, the fucking beautiful Piers Austin. And tonight, for the first time ever on this show, my guest is not just returning for the second time, but he's returning for the third time. And he's one of my good friends, Vinnie Vane, and I'm very excited to have him back on the show because I love catching up with Vinnie and having a chat and talking wrestling and life and bullshit. But before I bring out my guest this evening, ladies and gentlemen, you know I've got to pay those things called bills, and by doing that, we have to give some shout outs to our sponsors. First up is healthvape.com. Now, ladies and gentlemen, healthvape.com is your healthy vaping alternative. All of their products are no nicotine, no addictive or harmful chemicals, and they are vitamin infused, guys. So they are like vaping, or like vitamin C or vitamin D or whatever the vitamin it is. It'll give you that energy, that boost, and restore the energy that you need. So check out healthvape.com. Use promo code MWAPOD to get a 10% discount on your final purchase. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, you need to check out sleefs.com. That's SLEEFS, sleefs.com. Now, if you or someone you know is an athlete, you need to check out Sleeves. They've got armbands, they've got compression pants, compression shorts, compression socks, compression underwear. They've got headbands, they've got mouth guards, they've got boots, they've got dirty boxes, guys, and I've got to say, they sent me a bunch of these dirty boxes, and they're the most comfortable boxes that I own. They stay dry, they stay fresh all day long, and you know that's a good thing. But guys, check out sleeves.com, use that promo code MWAPOD and get a 10% discount on that final purchase. But guys, you know, MWA Podcast Network, we're bringing you shows every single day of the week. We've got Killing the Business with former ECW original, the Kingpin, Angel Medina, King Mega, and the Burger King, Glenn Sexton. We've also got Get Funked, hosted by former WCW and TNA star Alan Kwee Funk. We've got Knights of the Gimmick Table, hosted by the Dead Presidents, Boogaloo and Lowrider. We've got Wrestling with Sports. We've got the Funkin' Kingpin Show. We've got the NXT Roundup. And we've got Shooting the Shit Uncensored. So we have something for everybody here at the NWA Podcast Network. So wherever you're finding us, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, hit that share, leave us a comment, let us know what we're doing good, let us know where we're fucking up and you think we can do better. Just make sure you leave it respectful, please, because we always like a little bit of constructive criticism. But guys, my guest is waiting patiently. I can see there's people in the crowd already. We've got Mr. Henchman, the bad guy, Vinnie Vane, an absolute weapon. We've got Joel Southgate cheering. Thank you for the bits. Hey, Kyle. Hey, Josh. Without further ado, come on out, Mr. Vinnie Vane.
My man, the Honourable Piers Austin. How you going, mate?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. How you going?
Wait, are you going to try and slide over that and skip away from the Honourable? I heard about you becoming a colonel. I don't get it, but that's crazy as hell. Like, let's talk about that first and foremost.
Well, okay. So basically, in the state of Kentucky in the United States, right?
Right.
To the highest honor the governor of Kentucky that can give someone is to make them a colonel. That is essentially what has just happened here. So I have someone I know who's a Kentucky colonel, and you can only be a Kentucky colonel by being nominated by another Kentucky colonel. Right. So he said to me, I want to induct you. And I said, well, dude, not only not like from Kentucky, I'm not even from America, and I've never even been to Kentucky. Like, he goes, no, it's fine. This is like what it is, blah, blah, blah. And he gave me like a little bit of a history about it, and it's a very prestigious honor. And it's like Paul McCartney is a Kentucky colonel. Like Dolly Parton, like there's a lot of people like, you know, I'm not saying I'm at that level of celebrity or anything, but like,
no, hey.
I'm in pretty good company.
Hey, man. Hey. So do I address you as Colonel Piers Austin, or is it Honorable Piers Austin? Like, what do I address you as now, man?
Hey, man, you call me, dude, come on, just Piers. I mean, Honorable Austin if you want.
Honorable Austin. Yeah. Your gimmick just writes itself. I'm just like, you know. Yeah.
Well, I actually said I want to get a pinky ring, so then when I walk into the room, it's like people just get down and kiss
the ring. Yeah, for sure. Well, congratulations. That's pretty big, man. Like that's awesome. Like, well done. I don't know any other Kentucky colonels. Like, don't get me wrong, I eat a lot of Dirty Bird, but like, you know, like never met an actual colonel.
I think I'm actually the first Australian to hold that honor.
Well, aren't I just lucky to be in your presence tonight?
Get the fuck out of here. But man, like, fuck, how you been, man? Like, dude, like, you know, we've just had like a massive lockdown. Wrestling shows are starting to open up. You know, like you're starting to get, you know, a bit of some noise on the scene, really, bro. Like,
so how am I doing? You want to know how I'm doing?
How you doing?
One sec. I'll show you how I'm doing, all right? I'm doing good. Boom. I'm doing really, really fucking good right now. I am what are you, double champ, Vinnie 2 belts, whatever you want to call me. But either way, yeah. You know what they say, bro? They say you don't have any power until you have all the power. Right now, I have a lot of power. Or, you know, he who has the gold makes the rules. So the way it's going, man, I make the rules. I'm the bad guy. I'm doing pretty good. Nah, jokes aside, wrestling's going good, bro. Everything's going good. I'm doing all right for myself at the moment, man.
Yeah, man. And, you know, like, I think as well, dude, like, you know, the FWA show where you won the Mercury title, you know, I got to call that match, dude. That was a pretty cool thing to experience as well, man. You know what I mean? Like, to call a buddy of mine winning the belt, I thought was pretty cool, man.
That was big for me too, man. And I'm so glad you were there to call it. Like, I kid you not. Like, that was awesome. And the match, you know, like it's a bit of fun. It was a you know, decent match, like with some good people. So I am honored, and you know, it was a great experience, man. Like, and to have you call it was the cherry on top. So it was really good, really good.
Oh, thank you, man. No, it was, you know, I think it was a great show as well, man. You know, like from bell to bell, it was you know, great to be a part of. And, you know, obviously, you know, you going into that situation now as well, being like a champion in not just one promotion, but 2 promotions, you know, it's sort of like, you know, it's getting you up to that sort of next level. And I sort of know, you know, like obviously from, you know, you and me being friends, like we talk about this, like how far deep you want to go into it and so forth. But, you know, do you see like in the next 12 months, like this could be your 12 months to really sort of step into that main event scene on the scene?
I've been in the main event scene before for, you know, given places. Yeah. I main evented at AWE for years. I've main evented in Kingdom before. So it's nothing new to me. Look, I've even main evented BCW before. It's not a new spot for me, but I'm quite content with where I am, given because look, I admit I'm a solid mid-carder. You know what I mean? And that's good for me because like I don't have to go out there and do 25-minute main events with flips and, you know, all this bullshit. I do what I do it well, and that's my spot right now. Moving up into the main event picture in FWA and Kingdom, it's not beyond me. I'm like, if the guys want to make money, they'll put me in there, put it that way. I back myself, I back my ability, I back my drawing ability, I back myself as a character and a wrestler. And, you know, it's up to bookers and promoters to use me how they want to use me. And either way, I'm happy, man. I'm just enjoying myself. I'm having a really good time with wrestling. I stayed in relatively good shape throughout lockdown. To be fair, I've probably dropped a few kilos more than I would have liked, but I am relatively lean at the moment, and man, things are good. I've really got no complaints. I'm content with what I'm doing. I'm happy with where I'm working. Life is good for the bad guy, baby.
Man, but you're looking good, you're looking healthy, and and also, with the
You got to buy me dinner first, Piers. All right,
hey,
before
man,
you drop those
just,
comments,
just,
bro.
just relax,
Hey,
bro.
hey,
Relax. Easy, Tiger. But
easy.
but with coming forward now, like with the Kingdom 600 title,
Yeah.
what's the whole process like, and tell us about the 600 title. Like, what is the whole concept behind it? Because it's a little bit more different than a standard wrestling match.
Yeah,
right?
it's pretty much you've got a 10-minute time limit, and you go out there and you wrestle a hell of a match in 10 minutes. And if I defeat my opponent, I retain the championship. If I'm pinned, I lose it. If it goes to the time limit, well, I guess I'm retaining. It's just it's pretty much the concept around it. It's very much for a fast-paced kind of match, and something that I look forward to doing more and more, and really like seeding that title and like making it something. Like, I know when I won the Kingdom or the Hunter Valley at the time, the Elite title, the aim was to seed it on me and really get me to do something with it and give it some notoriety. And that's what I plan to do with this 600 title, but also with the Mercury title. The Mercury title has been in some very good company, like, with champions before me, and I've got big shoes to fill there, but I have no doubt I am the man for the job. And like I said, like, I don't have any issues or any ego issues coming to you and saying I'm a solid mid-carder. I have no issues saying that. Like, I know my space on the card, I know my position, I know what I can do well, and I think these spots for me are really, really good. Like, I don't need to go out there and do 25-minute main events where, like, no disrespect to anyone on the scene, but like, they're going balls to the wall, spot after spot. There's no story. It's just like, Move Fest 97. And it's like, dude, like, not there's anything wrong with that. It's just not my style. I'm happy doing this. The spots I'm in right now are really good, and I know that there's bigger plans for me in the pipeline with what I'm doing, and I'm just riding the wave, man. One thing I learned is I got to stop, and this is in life, this isn't just in wrestling. I really need to stop and enjoy the moment. Like, I've been a very driven person in my real, my shoot career, where it's, next accolade, that I never sat and savored the moment. And with these two titles in this instance, I want to sit and enjoy it. I want to make the most of it. I really want to relish in this moment, because, like, everyone gets into this business, and like, I see like guys younger than me coming through, and they all want to win championships, and they want to win titles. So I have to admit, I'm very blessed. I'm very fortunate that the companies I'm working for have the faith in me to be that champion and carry the company for this position I'm in, and I'm gonna do it as best I can, but I'm gonna also enjoy it. I've been around decent amount of time. I work hard. I do give it my best. Some people might argue that because he's not a full-time wrestler, and he doesn't take it seriously. We've had this discussion numerous times, but what I do pride myself on my work ethic, and I do give it my best. And like I said it before, man, like, I'm obviously doing something right if promoters want to give me this opportunity and put me in those spots. So I'm gonna take it and run with it.
Oh, absolutely, mate, and you should as well. And as you said, you're a solid performer. You can go in there and you can put on a good match.
Yeah.
The thing is, as well, there is a spot on the card for every single different style of wrestling. Wrestling is like a buffet. You know what I mean? Like, you can have the high flyers, but then it's like, okay, you can have the brawlers, then you can have the sort of technical wrestlers, the comedy spot, the dramatic spot, for whatever, you know what I mean? Because that's what professional wrestling is. It's like a buffet, because it's like, you might not like this, but you like this.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think, with my style, it's a bit like, I'm not a brawler, I'm not a submissions expert. I just think I do some cool shit, so to speak. I think what I do is good enough for my size, my build, and my character. And I think if anything, my character gets me over. I have one of those faces that people just want to punch, and that's totally fine. I'm going to use it to my advantage. It works. I don't need to do anything. I walk into a room, I got that fuck off look on my face with my shades and my, pop my collar, and people know this guy's a dickhead. Like, let's boo the fuck out of him. You know what I mean? So, man,
and that's when Vinny goes into work on Monday morning. Everybody just like, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Where's my coffee? yeah, pretty much.
But that's the thing. Like, your character, like, where I find it like is so good in what you can do with it. It's like you can be a babyface and you can be a heel. And I've said before on this show many times that a really solid character and solid performer can be the same character and just change it ever so slightly from heel to babyface by just changing these small little nuances that get to these different reactions. And I feel that's what the bad guy can do. The bad guy can be cool, or the bad guy can be a prick.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about it that I really love is I can turn it up and down accordingly, but obviously working with a good person opposite me in that ring can help me get to that level depending on what we're trying to achieve in that match. So if I need to turn it up and be a total bad guy and be a total heel, I can do that. If I need to milk some sympathy and kind of, turn to the face side of things or be like that tweener, I can do that as well. That's the one thing I love about this character is it's so versatile and we can play it any way you like.
What's your preference, though, with the character?
Hey, man, bad guys have more fun. What do you want me to tell you?
Yeah,
come on.
Cool.
Where else can I curse, punch people in the face and get away with it? You know what I mean? It's awesome. I can say what I like, do what I like. It's this like I pick a bad guy 10 out of 10, man. Every single day I would pick being the bad guy over the good guy. Good guys always finish last, bro. That's why I don't finish last. That's why I finish first.
but even then, I think it's harder to get a negative reaction from a crowd, than it is a positive one, because I think fans are excited to be at shows, and especially now, like a post-COVID world that we're living, the COVID world that we're living in now with restrictions. But like, to go out there and get like real heat, like I find performers now have to work really hard to get that, as opposed to what it was like, back in the 80s. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I like sometimes you work some matches and like, yeah, I've got a meeting out of the palm of my hands and I've done absolutely nothing. Like they're booing me, like they wish I was dead. But then other times like, man, I really got to work for this. Hey, like what's wrong with these people tonight? It's but look, as long as I'm getting a reaction is better than no reaction. That's always been my philosophy. As long as I can get some type of reaction, we'll play it accordingly. But if I'm getting nothing, well, then we've got a problem.
Have you ever had that where you just had a crowd give you nothing? And how do you sort of get around that?
Look, to be fair, every time that's happened, it's because the crowd was filled with other wrestlers who are, I don't even know. Is it a personal thing? Is it you're just being assholes for the sake of being assholes? Or is it like, they're just watching because it's like so common to them that there's no reason to cheer or, boo. I just work harder and do what I can and really try and get what I need to get out of them. But that's where this becomes a bit more of an art, because a lot of people you work with, and I'm like this too sometimes, where it's like, this is the script or this is what we've planned and we go out there and just stick to that. But I think when you elevate yourself to a higher level of performer, you start to listen to the crowd and try to feed off them and take them on that story and that journey throughout the match. So that's what separates the men from the boys. And I'm not saying I'm by any means the man, but it's something I'm trying to develop and work more as a performer, and try not to rely so much on planning spot for spot so the whole match is worked out. It's more trying, okay, we know how we need to get to we know the destination, but how we get there is something I really want to critique and work on calling on the fly.
Like the emotional roller coaster of the audience sort of watching a match and going like, experiencing and taking each move and being
absolutely
captivated throughout that.
Absolutely. And I think that's where this becomes more of an art. And I think that's where the skill is. And that's what, you'll see the great performers compared to the good performers. So that's something we want to work on and improve upon, definitely in, FY22, next year.
Yeah. No, Oh, absolutely. But as far as yourself coming into 2022, like, do you want to do any traveling, or are you just happy to sort of stay in New South Wales at the moment and do local shows? Because I know you've got a young family as well, so I can imagine an interstate show is not just like a day trip; it turns into like a whole weekend.
Man,
thing, really.
like, so when I was doing like the BCW tours, that literally is like a whole weekend. So it's like fly out Friday, wrestle, you're out, you go out, you're in another town, you go out and paint the town red, blue, black, whatever. And then because I had the baby at home, I was like, okay, I'm going to get on the 6 a.m. and get back to Sydney and go and like see my daughter for a few hours. And then literally like get home, give her a cuddle, play with her a bit, and then straight to the next show and do that. And then, you might go out that night as well and then come home at, 5 a.m. and play dad all day Sunday. Is hard, No, but look, I'm open to it. I'm definitely like, I'm still willing to travel and do what I need to do. But if the booking's right and it's right for my character and, like, the payoffs there, I'm open to every opportunity. I never turn down any opportunity. It's just a matter of whether I want to do it or not. That's what it comes down to.
And is that like coming, like when you go to make it, like get a booking, like if a promotion say pops up, say, I don't know, I don't want to say an acronym because I'll probably
no, sure. Let's call it ABC.
Let's call it Piers Austin Pro Wrestling League, right? So I'm starting Piers Austin Pro Wrestling League, and I contact you and go, hey Vinnie, I want to bring you in. Like, like, do you ask questions? You go, okay, look, what do you want from me? Or do you just go like, all right, man, look, this is what you want, pay me, pin me, whatever the fuck.
Nah, look, it's everything. I want to know who I'm working to begin with, because my safety is paramount, and I can't afford to get injured and be off my feet, man. My life is, 24/7. It's nonstop. I'm working nonstop. Yeah. I'm playing dad. I'm playing husband. I'm playing, every hat, you name it, I wear it. No. So if someone's going to injure me, we're going to have problems. So I'm not just getting in there with anybody. I want to know who I'm working and why. And even the companies I work for now, I'm like, who am I wrestling first and foremost? And then we go from there. Where's it heading? What are we doing? What do I need to do? What's expected? Like, look, you don't take any, like, just in real life, before you get a job, you understand what am I required to do? What are you expecting of me? What are the conditions? What are the pay? Like, I treat it like I would my real world job. Like, so we go through the motions, and if everything aligns, I'm there. If not, no dramas. I'm professional, and we'll talk again about opportunities down the road.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the best way to really sort of like handle it as well. Like also how they want to present your character as well is so important. Because if they go, yeah, we're gonna have you come out, and then we're gonna like beat the shit out of you, you know what I mean? Like, and then the midget's gonna come out and do a frog splash.
No, can I be honest with you? I couldn't care less about that stuff. I don't care about wins and losses. I'm there to tell a story. Sometimes I'm the winner of that story. Other times I'm the loser of that story. It makes no difference. It's how did I perform overall? I really believe that, and some people might disagree, and that's totally fine. But I think with a lot of these wrestling matches, you don't remember necessarily who won and lost, but you remember how it made you feel. So if I can go out there and make someone feel something, I don't care whether I win or lose. I hate to say this, but it's not real. This isn't a physical competition where the better man wins. It's like, it's a work. So I need to go out there and do my job. As long as I'm not getting hurt, I'm getting, paid accordingly, and I'm, in good company. And like I want to, like, you want to go to places where you enjoy where you are, you enjoy the people you're working with. If all that aligns, I don't care, man, about whether I'm winning or losing. Like, do what you want, mate. It makes no difference to me. As long as you treat me right, you're good to me, I'm good to you, we'll do business. If not, well, no dramas.
And that's, you hit the nail on the head. Like, so many classic matches. And it was like, I was actually watching Austin versus Rock from WrestleMania 17. And it was like, fuck. I forgot, like, The Rock went over in that match. I was like, you know what I mean? But, like, I remember that match being just as iconic as it was. You know what I mean? Like, as I remember it. Like,
that's right.
And I was like, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't take away from anything. You know what I mean? Like, I think when you have a performance at that level where it's like the winner doesn't even get You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter who the winner was.
Oh, it doesn't. If you do your job correctly, like, don't get me wrong, you need winners and losers to advance storylines, and it is a contest. But at the same time, like like any of these guys that like really you meet some of them and you work with them and they're so hung up on who's winning and losing. It's like, bro, it's like, calm down, mate. Like, it's not. Like, that's not the point of this. That's not the point of this exercise. Like, you were to get signed by the WWE, hypothetically, right? Are you really going to go and get upset because you won or lost on Monday Night Raw? Like, you're getting paid. You're at the elite level. It doesn't matter.
Like, I think it matters to a certain extent. Like, if you're, like, if you're a top level performer and you're getting bought into the company, and it's like you can be a main event level. But they're sitting there going, no, we're going to have you on the fucking, like, the pre-show jobbing out to fucking, like, XYZ. You know what I mean? Like, then, okay, you know what I mean? You could have it. You're in that sort of level.
Let me respectfully challenge you on that, yeah? You're saying you're a top-level performer, right? But who determines you're a top-level performer? Is that based on your ring ability? Because that might be one thing. But what's your character? What do you look like? Are you marketable? All those factors come into play.
Let's say an established performer comes in. Like you've seen WWE do it, for example, right? Shinsuke Nakamura, prime example.
Yeah.
Main event player.
Yeah.
Has he's gotten close to that, but never really given opportunity.
Okay, but let's ask why. Why? And I'm not saying my answers here this is just off the top of my head what the opinion might be, okay? It might be the language barrier, number one. They can't bank on him. Maybe that's why, okay? It might be his marketability. Does he resonate with the actual audience, the majority of the audience? There's no denying he's a fantastic performer and his character, his gimmick, but I'm not the one making the booking decisions. I'm not the one checking the merchandise sales and the pay-per-view rates and the viewership on TV. All these things come into play. And that's where I think the fans, not that they should know, but this is why it's a business. You could be the best performer to your point, but if it's not moving the needle, who the fuck cares? I'm not going to put you in that spot. What is going to make me money as the promoter is what you should be caring about. So I see your point, but I think the fans a lot of the time, not that they forget, it's not their job to forget or know the difference, but it's a business. That's what everyone keeps forgetting. It's like, who is going to move this needle and who is going to make this company money? That's why the John Cena era was so long and so like having him at the top constantly winning, because the guy looks good. When the guy's on TV, the soccer mums tune in. When the soccer mums tune in and they go to Target, they're going to buy his action figure. They're going to buy his poster for the kid. His merchandise sales are going to make us more money. Do you see the business element behind this?
Yeah, absolutely. But also in saying that as well, we're never going to see another John Cena. There's never going to be a star at that level of performer, because I believe, and this is what I've heard, where WWE doesn't want people to come to the show for a performer. They want them to come there for the WWE.
The show.
The show.
Yeah.
So and also if a performer has that much level of popularity, then they lose control.
100%. I don't disagree with you.
So that's why, you've seen, for example, Asuka, who went, 3 months not being on TV. Did anyone notice?
No. And I see your point.
You know what I mean? Okay, no worries. Kevin Owens, he's not there for the next 3 weeks. Cool. You know what I mean? Whatever. All right, no worries. Because they've just got another batch of people coming through that can just come in and take that spot.
Well, you have to, because if you look at the whole Cena situation, he's on the back end or, finished up, and who's replacing him? Who's the top star? Who is the next John Cena? I don't think they've got it yet, because maybe they didn't spend time cultivating, the talent under him to have someone replace him. It's like any business. When a key player leaves, the business is going to struggle unless you prepare for someone to fill that spot. And that's probably where the WWE is at now, to be fair.
Yeah, and I think as well, I mean, they tried that with Roman Reigns to have things like it, and people shit on it. You know what I mean? I think it was but that's the thing, WWE won't push things that get over it organically. They want to recreate it, or it didn't happen. You know?
Yeah,
So,
but look, there's a ton of people, like, compare an indie show here to the WWE. An indie show, the booker, the promoter, the head star is the same person 90% of the time. In WWE, there's a whole team of people strategizing this and working on storylines and making sure storyline meets strategy. It's a very big, big, big machine. And to be fair, the talent there are just a cog in that machine. And when the gear runs out, the next guy comes in and fills the spot. It's pretty simple.
yeah, it's like, but even like they can't even say wrestling on air and shit.
Oh, man.
But that's the thing. But from your business standpoint, what do you think of that as being like, seeing a company releasing so much, which is also freeing up so much like cost of like outgoings, which are now cancelled. So how would you now, like from a business standpoint, what would you say looking at that?
Well, you got to look at it from this point of view. COVID has screwed up everyone's business. So they probably need to cut talent fees because they're not making the same money they were probably making pre-COVID. So how do you, decrease your costs? You downsize, you remove, like if you've got, say 100 people on your roster, you don't need 100 people to do to fill all the programs on TV week in, week out. So they're just trying to find efficiencies. Like that's my opinion, but I'm not in the WWE. I don't know the figures. I don't know the stats. I don't know what their business position is, but that would just be my top line of thought. Obviously there's reasons for certain people getting let go that we won't know of. Like, is it their attitude backstage? Are they difficult to work with? Have they reached their potential? Like, or not potential, but this is all the business sees them doing. Is it, the talent can argue, but I'm the greatest and I'm this and I'm that. Of course you are. But if you don't fit into that strategy, like it's lottery, man. Did your number get called? Great. Congratulations. You are the man. But sometimes it just doesn't work that way. And that's even the case here, mate. Like we have so many good talent, like even take the New South Wales indie scene, right? We have so many good talent who aren't working the top end shows for whatever reason. You know what I mean? Because the better promotions have their own like schools and processes and systems. And some of these great talents aren't in that system for whatever reason. Therefore, they're never going to be in that spotlight. But it's because that's the business. That's how their business structure works. So you can't at the end of the day, that business is going to do what's going to make them money, whether it's people paying training fees to go and learn there or they help out with shows. It's less cost for the business. Therefore, they take care of those people. Like it's just how it goes, mate. It's just how it is. Like you can get sour about it all you want. But at the end of the day, like I said before, I think that the performers lose sight that this is a business. This isn't a vanity project. This isn't an arts club. This is an actual, it's a business and it should be treated as such because that's how the better decisions are going to get made. So, that's the scene. That's how it is. It's how it works.
And that's where I think as well, like looking at it from a business standpoint as well, is like if you're a performer and you get told, okay, you're doing the favor tonight, you can sort of look at it and go, okay, no worries. That makes sense for business, for the story and whatever. And, as a performer, if it makes sense, right?
Yeah. But take ego out of the equation. That's where 90% of the problems start because why am I doing this? I'm the best and I don't deserve this. I'm way better. And fuck, man, like some of the bullshit I hear, like it's,
But do you think crazy. Some guys like should believe this or they're just doing it because they're trying to get that spot or like?
Look, man, I think it's a bit of everything. I think it depends on the person, their actual character as a human being, not their shoot character. Like just who they are. They like it's wrestling. Everyone's got an ego. Everyone. There's a thing. Go into a locker room. Everyone thinks they're the best. Everyone thinks they're the top dog. Like it's just it comes with the territory of being a wrestler. But the guy. Look, at the end of the day, the guy that's paying the bills or group that's paying the bills, like. They've got their ideas and they're going to do what's going to give them the biggest return on investment. Some guys fit that mold, others don't. It's nothing personal. It's just business. And that's how you got to treat it. If you're going to get there and work yourself into a shoot over this, hey man, you don't belong here. If I may say that, like you're not professional enough to call yourself a professional wrestler. Because a professional is going to do what he's told to do to service the show and the business. That's my stance on it.
100%. And I think that's the best way to do it. And it's kind of disappointing that there's still people out there that sort of take it with that attitude, which is me, where it's like, take the ego out of it and put it into the show, and you're going to give the crowd a much better show, and overall the product is going to be a lot better.
Yeah, it is, but that's probably the biggest problem with indie wrestling, like, and just wrestling in general, is like, everyone thinks they deserve that spot and that limelight, and you see it even on like some of the shows I work on, where you get allocated 10 minutes and then these guys are pulling 20, and it's like, bro, like, if this was TV, you'd be taking money out of my pocket and I'd be breaking your head. But because it's an indie show, it doesn't matter. But it's things like that show who the real professionals are. Like, if you're given 10 minutes, you do 10 minutes. You don't blow your time. Like, that's why, like, I think there's a lot of people that are great wrestlers and they can, do all the acrobatics and the basics and all that. But like, the word professional is very loose and gets thrown around, quite a bit here, which isn't, I've seen a lot of people that I don't think they should call themselves professional on the Australian indie scene, to be fair. Now, I know there's probably some people watching this that are going to say, oh, Nathan, I saw something you got up to at a show, but, shit happens. But I do like to think overall I'm a professional. I think if you were to ask any of the promoters I've ever worked for, they'd tell you I'm a professional and I handle myself as a professional, and it's something I pride myself on.
Oh, absolutely. And I've known you, for a while now. And, I know someone who, who's always, very cool, calm, collected, and presents himself, in a very respectful manner. So, and that's been my experience with you. And I'm not just saying that because we're friends and we're.
No, I appreciate that.
I'm saying because that's the truth. That's 100% truth.
Thank you.
But, on that line, man, like following the Last Kingdom show, something popped up on social media, and I got the video here, and I want to play it. Like, I'm not sandbagging, Vinny here. He knew that this was going to be
it's cool.
Played. I want to, like, as I said, I've known you for a little while now, so what I saw in this video, I'm going, this isn't Nathan, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't my buddy here. Like, is this a work? Is it a shoot? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Because, like, I can see you're upset, but man, I don't know. Like, were you working me? Like, can I play it first?
Yeah, play it first, and we'll talk about it.
All right, here we go.
Don't fucking film me. Seriously, turn that shit off. What's wrong with you, bro? Where is that fucking guy? Seriously, the actual fuck.
Hey man, just calm down. Just calm down, bro. Not now, bro. Just calm down.
Stay out of the
Stop. No. Don't tell me to fucking stay out. Calm down.
What's your fucking
Just calm down.
No.
Hey!
Serious?
Hey! Stop this!
Fucking hell.
What the fuck?
Stop! Get your fucking hands off me.
Stop!
Do not chill.
You want fucking
go?
Don't do it.
6 years.
Chill.
6 fucking years.
Yeah? I don't care. This is
He's
on
kicked
you.
out back there.
This
It's on me.
is on
Motherfucker. Wait till I'm fucking done with you, you piece of shit.
Man, like I said, that's not the guy I know. Like, Vinny, like, were you working this, bro? Like, was that a work or shoot? Because I didn't know what the fuck was going on, because there wasn't much the text that went into that. So, like, what's your thoughts on it? Like, what actually happened? Can you talk me through it? Is it a work? Is it shoot?
I don't get why it's a big deal. I'm a professional wrestler. That's, someone that just turned their back on me. So, that was supposed to be my friend. So I went at him. I had words with him. I don't know what more to say.
Fair. Okay, no worries. If we're putting it that way. So, okay, so that was in story, because, like, I don't know, the way that it was posted, I sort of felt like there was some sort of, like, shoot thing happening there. Was there?
If I tell you it's a work, right? You're going to question it and say, maybe it was a shoot. If I tell you it's a shoot, maybe it's actually a work and I'm just a fantastic actor. The only people that are ever going to know the truth are me and Lucius Wolf. That's the bottom line.
Fair enough, man. Look, it threw me for a shock.
But why? Why did it throw you for a shock? The guy, why is it any different to any other promo I've cut or any other, altercation you see on TV? What makes this different? I don't understand why.
I don't know. For some reason, for me, that it was the way that it was posted. if that may have been sense. Like, I think I read it was like what happened after the show sort of thing. Like, it was something along those lines, and I've read it like that, going, like, what the fuck? Like, after the show, like, you know what I mean? Like, what? Like, is this a shoot? Is it a work? Like, is it a work shoot? Like, what the fuck is it? So I didn't know.
Look, at the end of the day, man, I'm not someone that gets pushed around, you know, in the real world and in wrestling. I don't take a backward step to anybody. And this situation is just one of those things. You know, like I said, the only people that really know what went down there is me, Lucius Wolf, and the referee, Christian Chaos. And that's it. You know, we're going to have, you guys are just going to have to tune in next week to see what really goes on here. That's, you know, I'm a professional. I pride myself on being a professional. You know, shit happens. It's just the way it goes. I said I wasn't going to comment more on this, but because I do love you and I do consider you one of my closest friends, I'll talk to you about it. But that's all there is to say. Do you really think the real me would actually go and attack someone like that? Like, I'm not talking character. I'm talking about the person behind the character. Would I actually do that?
No, well, that's why I'm asking the question.
But
because I know that you.
But would the real person that you know me? You also know the real guy behind the character doesn't.
Look, man, absolutely. I mean, like, I think any man is capable of that if being pushed and it has a legit reason.
Well, I don't know if the camera saw it, but I didn't throw the first punch.
I didn't see any punch getting thrown. So
maybe I did. Well, you know what it is, man. It's just one of those things. And I guess, you know, we're just going to have to see where the cards lie, man, at Kingdom. But like Vinnie Vane doesn't take a backward. Like, I don't get called the bad guy for no reason. Okay. Maybe there is a bit of truth to the bad guy in the real world, like the person behind Vinnie Vane. Maybe there is a bit of truth to that. So, you know, it is what it is. What you saw is what you saw. I am not going to comment here, there, or it is, like I said, you watch it, you make your own decision. If you think it's a shoot, then maybe it's not. Maybe it's a work. Maybe we're pulling your leg. Maybe I am that fucking good at what I do and he's that good at what he does that we're making you question. But then again, maybe it is a shoot. Maybe we stepped on each other's toes and maybe shit just got out of hand and we're going to throw fucking hands. You know, maybe we are actually going to go and beat the shit out of each other when the time comes. I don't know. You guys are just going to have to wait and see. And that's where, and you guys are going to definitely have to tune into Kingdom, man, because that's where the action is and that's where stuff like this goes down.
Oh, absolutely, man. And, you know, as far as, upcoming shows, you've got AWS coming up this Saturday, correct? Yeah,
I do. I have a match against Ryan Eagles, which I'm actually really looking forward to. You know, as a performer and like as, you know, as a wrestler, like in this business, that is something where I'm going to be honest with you, eyes open, ears open, shut the fuck up and just learn, because that guy is a legend in his own right. That guy has done some amazing things. And I don't think he gets half the credit he deserves for what he's established. You know, I think he's one of the founding people of PWA, if I'm not mistaken. But the guys, I remember when I was looking into wrestling like 10, 11 years ago, and I actually didn't get into it. Like, I decided it wasn't the right time, cut a long story short. But I remember seeing him and following him and like, this guy is the goods, man. So for me, this is a big match for me. Something I just want to go and learn and absorb as much as I can off that guy. And like, you know, learn from him and further develop myself as a performer. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm grateful for AWS for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And what about for the rest of the year? Have you got anything else planned and coming up?
No, that's it, man. It's a week before Christmas. So that's going to wrap up my year. And then, you know, heading into January, obviously I'm going to be, you know, I'm a champion at FWA. I'm a champion at Kingdom, and I've got my work cut out for me. You know, with FWA, I know they've got their Battle for Destiny, which is a big, you know, rumble, which is awesome. And, you know, FWA are doing, you know, Fight TV now, which is great exposure for Australian wrestling and all the talent that are working. That's shown to be a champion on Fight TV, you know, is great for me, my character. So I'm very grateful to FWA management for having the faith in me to put me in that spot and let me represent them as best I can. So that's going to be big in January. And then we've also, I think we've got the Great Kingdom Rumble as well. So it's just rumbles left, right, and center. So, obviously I have some unfinished business with Lucius Wolf. That's what I want. That's the match I really want, to be completely fair. So let's see if they give it to us. That's the $1 million question. I've made my intentions extremely clear. Let's see where it goes.
And how's the body holding up, man? Now, do you still feel like you can go for a few more years?
Look, I actually, this is so cliche. Everyone says I'm in the best shape of my life. Like I said, I stayed pretty lean throughout COVID. I wasn't really eating junk food. And if the kid wants Macca's and I had to get Macca's, it was like I was eating like an Angus burger with like no sauce, no cheese, and a garden salad. I've like really watched what I was eating. The body's fine. I've been doing some training. I've been doing some when the shows started to come up again, I was like, man, I need to start getting some lessons in and go back to training. I was doing a few sessions with Mick Moretti, which was great. I need to get back to that. It's hard because man, if I'm wrestling on the weekends, I don't have time for I can't train that week because I'm literally working 7 to 8 every fucking day, weekdays. It's a lot. So I was doing that. I feel like I was getting my fitness back into really good shape. I ran a lot during COVID. I was running every day.
Really?
I was running every day to work on my cardio, and that was where I trimmed down a lot of the body fat. And I think I did a test. I can't remember but I was down to I think I was down to 12% body fat, which was pretty cool. But I'm really skinny, so it makes no difference. You know what I mean? I'm a skinny guy by nature. But the body's good. To answer your question, the body's good. I'm really got no injuries, nothing to worry about there. I could go as long as I want to go. It's just a matter of if I do want to keep going. That's the honest truth. Because now for me, I got to be completely honest with you. From an Australian standpoint, what more could I really do? I've held championships. I've wrestled at good companies. I've main evented. I've done sold out shows. I've wrestled internationals. For me, as a performer, the next thing is to go abroad and try and make something of myself. But to be fair, that's not where I want my life to go. I don't want to, I say this all the time and I don't want to sound so cliche, but man, the shoot career, I don't do starving artist well, bro. You know what I mean? The shoot career pays good, man, and I'm very good at what I do in the real world. And that's where I want to follow. I've got commitments. I've got, a daughter. I've got a few mortgages, pay the bills, mate. So right now I just want to enjoy what I'm doing and have fun because, even my wife was saying to me, she's like, there was a stage where I was coming home after shows and I just wasn't happy. And she's like, why are you doing it then if you're not happy? Why are you spending time away from us if you're not coming home with a smile on your face? And to be fair, I've been a lot more happier with wrestling as of late. And I think it's just because I overanalyze too many things, but it becomes a sort of so serious where it's I got to be the best and I got to, I want to make sure everything I do is 100%. But at some point you've got to remember why you got into it and enjoy this for what it is and make the most of it. And that's what I want to do now. I want to just, it's when people work and then they retire and they want to enjoy the fruits of their labor.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing. That's why I was saying to you earlier, with these titles now, I just want to enjoy being the champion. I just want to enjoy that spot and, enjoy my accomplishments because don't get me wrong. Some people say, they're just props and that's fine, but they don't just give the props to anybody. You know what I mean? No. There's a reason you're put in this position and I want to enjoy that. I think, I've earned the right to enjoy it. I think, like I said, I'm not going to, you never finish paying your dues, but I'm obviously doing something right. So I just want to sit back and enjoy the spot I'm in and, make the most of it and have some good matches with some good people. And, the rest is the rest. It's really, that's it. I don't know where the road's going to go, man. I take it all as it comes and just try and make the most of it.
I think you have to. I mean, especially at this stage, it's if you're doing this as for something because you love it and you enjoy it, and it's time away from your family. We all know, indie wrestling is not paying the bills, right? For anybody.
No, absolutely not.
So to do it, people going and working shows aren't doing it for the money, right? They're doing it for the love of the product. And if you're coming home from that and you're being fuck this, that's pretty sad. Yeah.
Look, I see some people, and this is I'm not ripping on them. I'm not saying I'm better than them. That's not what I'm getting at. But I go to a show. I don't worry about moving merch or things like that. If I sell merch, I sell merch. I don't try. It's like if someone comes up to me and they want to buy it, great, because I don't need that. Like, of course, extra money is always good, but that's not, gonna pay my mortgage this week. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not. I don't want to look at this as a job. I want to look at it as a hobby, as something I enjoy doing, for some fun. The moment it starts to become like that and become serious, well, like, man, like, the fun's gone, because now it's like you need to perform and you need to be the best you can be, because this is how you make your living. I'm not like, yes, I'm a professional wrestler, but it's not my main source of income. So, for me, it's some fun, but I do take it seriously. Like, I do want to be the best I can be and make sure I'm giving solid performances, but I don't want it to be the be all and end all, if that makes any sense.
It's not the only thing in your life.
No, because, mate, like, put it this way. If this was the only thing in my life, right? Like, how am I going to pay the bills? Like I said to you, I can't do cup of noodles and couch surf. Okay. Like, I'm not made for that, bro. Like, no. I'm gonna be honest with you. Call me a snob, call me what you want. But like, I didn't go to uni for 4 years and bust my ass to like live. There's nothing wrong with people who live that way. I actually applaud them. People that want to chase their dreams, they'll make that sacrifice. I am just not cut out for that. You know what I mean? Like, I went to school. I did my time. I learned I've got a professional career that I'm doing and I'm applying every day. That's where I'm going to make my money and I'm going to enjoy my life. This is a part of that, and this is just a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But
has anyone like in your shoot work, like, that you've had a meeting with and then like they've left and then they've Googled you? Like, Vinnie Vane has come up, like.
Yeah. Look, to be fair, the new role I'm in at the moment, when I was going through the interview process, they were like, oh, so sorry, we have to ask, are you this person? And I was like, fuck. I was like, yeah. I had to explain that, look, it's a character, like, it's not the real me. Like, even, look, let's be real, Piers. This interview now, is it really the real me talking that or is it the character? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's a bit of both.
I'd say it's a bit of both.
It's a bit of both. But like, there's few people in the world that like what you like. No disrespect to anyone, but what you see it shows, and the person you see it shows is not the person I am when I go home and take the coat and the leather pants off. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a very, very different guy. Don't get me wrong. Same cocky, arrogant asshole, but not the same in the slightest. Like, what the bad guy does in the confines of a wrestling arena and what Vinnie Vane does in his home life is
exactly
two very, very, very different people.
Oh, 100%. And I think as well, like, it's almost like, I think a lot of wrestling fans, they think, oh, just because they know your real name, thinks that, like, it's like, I'm one of those old school wrestling fans. It's like, if I get, and I talk to a lot of wrestlers like every week, right? So
yeah,
like, if I don't know someone by their shoot name, like, say, for example, I'd be like, oh, hi, Vinny, nice to meet you. Until I'm introduced and they introduce themselves as something else, that's what they go off, because that's kind of like the proper etiquette. It's not like I'd go up and go, hey, man, what's up?
But you know me. You know the rule. You are one of the very few people. There's probably like 5 people in this business that I can count on one hand that actually know me. You know what I mean? Everyone else, they just judge me on what they see at a wrestling show. That's fans and workers included. They don't know me from a bar of soap. Just because you know my real name and you know what suburb I live in and what I do for a living, you don't know fuck all. Do you know what I mean? And that's the way I keep it. I keep this life, this Vinnie Vane life, one way, and the real life of that other person, very, very separate. Okay. Yes. Part of my, like, who I am in the real world and my character, man, it's like, it's me dialed up times 100. But, you're not comparing apples and apples, bro. There's few people that really know the person behind the character. And I like to keep it that way.
Yeah, no, and that's fair enough, man. I think that comes to the ancient tale of kayfabe, right? Like, that's what the business is. It's like, I don't think kayfabe is dead. I just think kayfabe has evolved.
That has. That's why we're having this conversation about what happened to Kingdom.
Kayfabe, brother. But guys, we are getting to that 1 hour mark. It is time for 60 seconds with Piers That is right. It is that time where I am going to fire a bunch of questions at Mr. Vinnie Vane. He has 60 seconds to answer as many as he can. There are no right or wrong answers. When you are ready, let me know and we can get this game started.
Hang on. Wait.
All right.
Go.
If you came with a warning label, what would it say?
Warning, explicit content. Follow at your own risk.
What is your dream car?
67 Shelby GT Mustang 500.
What was your nickname growing up?
Like Bones or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. Had a lot.
If you could wear only one color to the ring for the rest of your career, what color would it be?
Black, and it's to let those fuckers know that I'm dressed for their funeral.
What is one thing that you have tried that you will never try again?
I can't say. Next question.
Okay. Favorite zoo animal?
I don't have one. I'm not an animal guy.
Okay. Plain fairy bread or fairy bread with Nutella?
None, bro. How do you think I keep these abs?
There
Next.
You go. You're auditioning for Australian Idol. What song do you sing?
Boys by Britney Spears. How the fuck do I know?
Snapchat or TikTok?
None, because I'm not a 12-year-old.
Name a gross meal combo that you like that no one else does.
I don't know. These questions are hard, man.
All right, last one. In 5 minutes, you are being shipped out of space. What two personal belongings do you take with you, excluding human beings?
These belts, bro. I'll take these belts, okay? I'll take the Kingdom 600 Championship and the FWA Mercury Championship. Cool? Fair enough?
There you go. The crowd approves. But that has been 60 seconds with Piers. Vinny, thank you so much for coming back on, man. Like, you know, it's always a pleasure to sit there and just chill and have a conversation with you. It's like I said, it's always a pleasure, my man. But where can everyone find you on social media and follow you, buy some merch, and support the bad guy?
Well, firstly, thank you for having me on, and congratulations again on your colonelship, if that's what I say.
Honorableness? I don't know.
Honorableness, your honor. I don't know what I refer to you as. It's so weird. But thank you for having me on. Like, man, it's always a pleasure being on Shooting the Shit with you, man. And I could talk to you for hours. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's great. I will do it again. We'll go for 4. But to find me on social media, everything's at Vinnie_Vane, and you can get all my merchandise at my t-shirts are available via Wrestler merch. So I have all my designs up there, but I also sell like face masks, and I hate to admit it, I even sell condoms, which I'm selling by the freaking bucket load. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, hit me up, and I will definitely get out to you what you need. But that's where you can find me. And thanks to all the guests, man, for dropping all the questions and commentating on this and putting comments. I appreciate it. It's nice that you guys, get so actively involved in the Aussie wrestling scene. It wouldn't be what it is without you.
Absolutely. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. Vinny, again, thank you for giving up your time on this Tuesday evening, and everyone for tuning in live. Also, all those who tune in after the fact, wherever you are finding us, whether it be YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, share, all those thumbs up, pound that shit out. But guys, thank you to our sponsors. Huge shout out to healthvape.com and to sleeves.com. Use promo code MWAPOD to get a 10% discount on your final purchase. Guys, also make sure you check out all the shows we got coming up this week. Get Funked, Killing the Business, the Funk and Kingpin Show, Wrestling with Sports, and the NXT Roundup, and Nights of the Gimmick Table, because we got shit going off. We got it on lockdown, and that's what it is, because it is Shooting the Shit, and it's time to get this ball rolling, because it's Vinny the Vane, it's Piers Austin. Until next time, we'll catch you all very, very soon. Take care, and peace out.